Yo, what up, nyakos? It's your buddy Philko here reporting live for your mama's house. Doing my thing as I usually do, bringing you guys another episode of some shit that's on my mind. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about Tommy Robinson. Apparently that's not his real name, but that's the name he likes to go under. So if you want to look him up, just search Tommy Robinson and you should find it. Now, who is Tommy Robinson? Well, he's a British man from Luton Town in Britain. He's a member of the UK, whatever. And he used to be the leader of a group called the EDL, which was classified as a far right movement with people who basically were protesting the certain Islamists in UK. Like not all the Muslims, but a lot of the Muslims who they feel are trying to push Islam or other people, whatever. But that organization turned out to be racist and stuff. They had some skinheads or whatever in there, so he decided to quit. And apparently, the only reason skinheads got into the organization was because he got arrested, and the two marches that he didn't attend, skinheads and neo-Nazis were allowed into the march, into those gatherings with his EDL people, and that gave him a bad name. So he did a smart thing and he left. Then he went to jail a little bit for mortgage fraud or some shit. Then he came out of jail. Now he's leading Pegida UK, which is people against the Islamification of Europe, some shit like that. Now he's one of the leaders of that and blah, 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 blah. But let me get to something, because you know what? I think this guy is going to be really big. The more these this problem with Islam, or people have a problem with Islam in Europe, the more popular he's going to become. He's already invited to Germany, and I think he was invited to some other countries to speak. So, he's becoming well known. But this may sound like a shock coming from a black guy, but I do not think this guy is racist at all. What I mean by racist, look, maybe in his imagination when he looks at a black person or he looks at a Muslim person, he's a little disgusted and he feels better than them. Maybe that's the case. But I'm not talking about what goes on in his head, I'm talking about his actions. This guy does nothing racist. Whenever he's speaking, he's talking about what he doesn't like and what he does like. It's never anything racist, but everybody calls him racist. All the time. I've watched every interview this guy's ever had. I look at him in his eyes as he speaks. I don't sense a racist bone in this dude's body. It doesn't matter to me when he goes, oh, I have black friends, I have Muslim friends. I don't give a shit. I don't think he's a racist at all. He just honestly has a thing, a negative thing for the Muslim ideology. He really doesn't like it. Now, whether I agree with him or not, I'm going to just let you know, this guy speaks his mind, and I go on the record saying I like this guy. I don't agree with his crazy ass, the way he attacks Islam. That's the only thing I don't agree with. So let's get to that first. He always quotes, and always talks about how the ideology is bad, how they do this, how they do that, and he mentions things from the Quran and all that stuff. But dude, people could do the same thing with the Bible, even the New Testament. People could do the same thing. We can pick the most terrible, disgusting, stupid shit from the Old especially and the New Testament and basically say those things about Christians and try to make them look the way you try to make Islam looks. And none of Islam, all three of them, what is it? The Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims, they all got shit in their book that's just ridiculous. It could be sexist, it could be homophobic, it could be all these things. You can find it and you can just make them look bad. So when he continuously tries to make Islam look bad by discussing the shit that's in the book, it just goes in one ear and comes out the other. Because your book, maybe you say, oh, we have less bad shit, but you still have bad shit in it. That's supposed to be divinely written. Now, I'm not saying he's religious or not. I honestly don't know. But it doesn't matter to me. You understand? All those books got crazy ass shit in it that I can't believe people believe this book is timeless. It was written or inspired by a divine being. All of them. So when he goes off about the book, I really don't care. But now let's get to other things he talks about. He does talk a lot about how certain areas in the UK that you can't really even go in if you're not a Muslim. There's videos, but remember, he is kind of the face of racism to a lot of people. But I'll get to that later. He has videos of him trying to walk through Muslim areas and getting attacked. Now, I don't think that's just because he's white. I think it's because he used to be the leader of the EDL. That's why they're trying to beat his ass. He's kind of the face of white racism and shit. But he goes to these areas and there's a lot of Muslims there, and They wear the hijab. He's against the hijab, whatever. He's against that. Now, if you're against hijabs, you gotta be against ski masks. Because if you're not against ski masks, you should be against hijabs. If ski masks are illegal because you're covering your face and they don't like it, then hijabs should be illegal because you're covering your face. Me, I don't give special treatment. Like, if I had a country, I'm not giving you special treatment for your religion. I don't care. If I ran a country, I've been watching way too many British videos. Way too many. If I ran a country, I don't give a damn about your religion when it comes to our safety. So, for example, if I ran a country, I would say, if we had problems with terrorism or crime, whatever it is, I'm like, no one's allowed to cover their face. Your face is cold, put on some warming lotion. No one is allowed to cover their face with a ski mask, hijab, or even a scarf over the mouth. They're not allowed to do it. If we really had problems, I would make it. I don't care what your religion is. If you don't like it, then just leave. Now, that's how I feel. If you don't like a country's rules and laws, you should leave. And that's something he also says, because there's some Muslims, there's not many of them, you can look it up, in the UK and through other parts of Europe, who want Sharia law to take over Europe and the UK. And they feel as if that the laws of man mean nothing. It means nothing. So some of them, you can look up the videos, will say, we only follow Allah. The rules of Islam mean nothing. We don't listen to man. You're all going to hell, blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't like hearing that either, and I would like those guys gone too. I think people should be arrested anytime when they're, like, promoting illegal activity. I think you should be in prison for that. You're going to promote illegal activity. Your laws mean nothing. We do what we want. We only follow Allah. Like, oh, so you're agreeing that you don't want to follow our laws? I agree. You go to jail. You got to follow the law. That's it. I don't like people who just promote breaking of the law. Now, rap music, everybody will be in prison, so that's a separate topic. But I mean, when you're out marching, you're on a loudspeaker telling people that these laws mean nothing. These laws don't have any bearing over us because we're better than, or we're different than this and that. It's like, then you guys gotta go. Because we want people here to be governed, or we want people here to follow the rules of the land. No matter where you go, you gotta follow the law of the land, or you go to jail. That's how it is in most developed countries. That's all you gotta do. Everything else, you can do what you want as long as you're obeying the laws. And if you're doing something they don't like that is legal, hey, shit, you might make something new illegal because you did it so well. Then you gotta stop doing it. You know what I mean? But as of him being a racist, look, I know racists when I see them. I deal with this way more than you guys do. Way more than you do. You know what I mean? I've been living in Russia for 3 years, Ukraine. I've been in Germany, Hungary. I'm pretty damn fucking experienced. Even in America, I'm pretty damn experienced knowing when I'm talking to a person who looks at me differently because I'm black. I feel it. I can see it. And when this guy speaks to black people or Muslim people in interviews, he doesn't give that look. Like, this guy seems really sincere about caring about his country. I know he has a hard-on for Islam, but he seems really sincere about caring for the citizens of his country. He doesn't even say that stupid shit like, white people were being outnumbered. No, he doesn't say anything like that because he doesn't give a fuck. He's about people. He's about behavior. That's what I like about him. And what's funny is the far right, like the neo-Nazis and the skinheads, they hate this guy. They hate this guy. They make videos threatening him all the time. They hate this guy. Then you go to the other side, a lot of the extremist Muslims, they hate this guy too. Even a lot of the normal Muslims hate this guy as well. This guy is like one of the most hated dudes in all of Europe and the UK. His march flopped. His last march totally flopped. They had to put it in a different area. It was raining. There's only 200 people when thousands were expected. That was a flop. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't like this guy when it's because he doesn't fit in with either side. He's not with the far right. He's not with the far left. He's not with the Muslims. He's his own thing. Because to me, except for all his like the Torah bashing, like bashing the Quran, sorry. Besides all of his Quran bashing, this guy makes a lot of sense to me. He makes a lot of sense. If you have problems in your country with people who aren't part of the country, and they statistically commit way more crime, especially rape crime towards women, and you notice your police don't want to handle it because they're afraid of looking racist, I would complain too. Who wouldn't complain about that? Who wouldn't complain about that? You know what I mean? And he's been warning Europeans in the UK for years. But the main reason why this guy will never make it anywhere, the main reason why Tommy Robinson will most likely fail, The number one reason is because his followers. He will always be followed by knuckle draggers. Way too much British shit, but that's basically someone who's an idiot. He'll always be followed by skinheads, neo-Nazis, what the fuck, Holocaust deniers. He will always be followed by these people at some point, and hated by the others, but they'll always follow him and ruin his name all the time. All the time. Trust me, he has these guys chased out whenever he can, but you can't chase them out all the time, because whenever a person like him speaks for European citizens, a lot of people will see it as white power. That's it. So even when he has a black person next to him during his march, it doesn't mean anything. They see that black person as a puppet. They look at him as he's the next thing for us. He's the new Hitler. He's that white leader. A lot of white people will do that. They're going to ruin his name. Another reason why he'll probably never make it anywhere is because whenever a white guy comes out speaking for his people, even when he's saying citizens, he's going to look racist automatically, because it's going to look like he's talking about white people. We got to protect white people. Even when he's saying British citizens, even when he's saying citizens of Europe, whatever, they're going to make him look like a racist. Even though he always says Jews blend into society, Sikhs blend into society, all these other minorities blend into societies, but just why do we have such a problem with the Muslims who try to come into our society and don't integrate? They don't want to blend in. That's what he complains about. But even though he likes all those other people, not liking that one group or having an issue with some people in this one group just makes him look bad. And this dude isn't stupid. He's not saying all Muslims are bad, because of course he has the Muslim friends, he has Muslims at his wedding, he has Muslims in his organization who agree with him on a lot of his points. He just has a big problem with those Islamists, I think that's what he calls them. The ones who are trying to basically force Sharia law on the UK. Who can have a problem with that? I'll tell you right now, I'm not a Muslim, and I have no problem with Muslims, but if there's ever a group in America saying Sharia law is going to take over America, I'd say, hey, suck my balls. Just like that, suck my balls. Not happening. You can do whatever you want in your homeland, but suck my balls. No Sharia law in America. That's not happening. Not while I'm here. So once Sharia law is implemented in America, I'll be the first. I volunteer, cut my head off. I'm out of here. No Sharia law in America. That's not happening. You know what I mean? And plus, we're not going to have Europe or UK's problems that you guys have out there, whatever, because we got guns. And we love them. Let some dumbasses pop off outside grabbing women and doing all this shit, running down the street making noise. People are going to get shot. You're going to get shot. That's it. We don't need no military called in. We are the military. You know what I mean? That's one thing I love about America. We got guns, man. Can't wait to get back home and get my license and start doing target shooting and shit. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. No, I might have to live in New Jersey or a state other than New York, but I want to be very close to New York, because, you know, my friends are there and shit. I want to be very close. Maybe I'll go to Connecticut or something. But, you know, I want to be somewhere where getting guns are a little easier. You know what I mean? I definitely want to have guns when I get back to America and shit. But other than that, man, I really don't hate Tommy Robinson. I really don't hate him. I think you guys should look into him. He's a very interesting guy. He used to be a football hooligan. You know, he's been to a lot of fights. He gets threatened all the time. He reminds me of me, except for the hooligan part. No one likes him from either side. You know what I mean? He's very misunderstood. And all he wants is to not be fucked with. Because I admit, he's not fucking with anybody. He's not waking up like, I got a problem with Muslims in the UK, so I'm going to go bother them. No, he's responding to shit going on. He's responding to grooming gangs, to a certain number of mosques being built or whatever, which is supposed to be regulated, but it's not being regulated because it's Muslims and they're afraid that terrorist attacks, whatever he was saying. I'm not too sure what he was saying about that, but he doesn't sound like a racist to me. It just sounds like he has a problem with the way a lot of Muslims are behaving in the UK. That's what it sounds like. But my thing is, this goes for all of you. I hear a lot of you talking crap about how the Quran is this and that, how the Quran is so bad. Look at your own damn book if you're religious. Look at your own damn book, all the ridiculous shit in there. So that doesn't mean anything to me. It means nothing when you talk crap about the Quran. Because look at your shit. What's supposed to happen when I work on Sunday? Fucking ridiculous. If you don't believe, you go to hell. All that shit's fucking ridiculous. All those religions are selfish. They make you think you're better than other people. You know, all those religions are just terrible. They're just terrible. You should treat people based on their behavior, not based on what they fucking believe. You know what I mean? It's so divisive. Religion just divides people, man. It's crazy. God damn. And I'm out, Nicholas. Later. It's the